Looking for a new camera tomorrow on the biggest shopping day of the year? Let me help you out. What's good, creative fan? Braden Washington here, and today we're going to be looking at my picks for the top 5 cameras you can pick up this year on Black Friday, starting with camera number 1, which is the Sony A6000. Now, yes, the A6000 is a pretty old camera. However, if you are looking for your first mirrorless camera, DSLR style camera, this is probably the best you can really get and jump into. So currently this camera is going for less than $500. That's right, this camera is going for around $448 to be exact, and that comes with a pretty decent kit lens. Now the A6000 is actually the very first Sony camera I ever shot with and really ever tested out, which really kind of got my feet wet. But I can tell you, for a camera that does only just shoot 1080p, it does a phenomenal job. Not to mention the money that you're gonna save by buying this camera on Black Friday, which is about $200, you will be able to actually then reinvest that into some better lenses. And Sony does have some, not super cheap, but they do have some pretty reasonably priced lenses that you can pick up for this camera as well, and you'll be super happy with the quality that you get out of it. I mean, saving $200 on this camera at this time of the year, in my opinion, if you are looking to get this type of a camera and you're trying to get started, get your feet wet with something mirrorless, this is definitely the way to go. Now, I did find on Amazon that there was a kit that actually came with like 2 extra batteries, a case, a memory card, and a couple other things, and all that came for $448 as well. I'll do my best to try to find that again, and I'll leave that down in the description below. Now, real quick, before we jump into the next item on the list, I do want to say that, as a lot of you guys may or may not know, tomorrow, Thanksgiving, is actually my birthday, so I have a huge announcement coming out on the channel, so definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button because you're not going to want to miss that video. But let's go ahead and jump back into the list of items I think you should be getting for Black Friday. Alright, so moving on to a camera that's a little bit more expensive, and that is going to be the Canon M50. Now, I found this camera on sale for $599, which in my opinion is a pretty good price for this camera. Now, the Canon M50 is a phenomenal filmmaking and photography camera, especially for beginners. I actually did a whole video breaking down the Canon M50 because I loved that camera myself. I shot with it for quite a while. The only thing I will say is that if you are going to pick up that camera, I do strongly recommend also getting an adapter that'll allow you to use EF lenses on that camera. You'll be really happy if you're able to pull that off, because you're going to be able to kind of basically open up your world to so many more cameras that are out there. So right now I found the Canon M50 going for $599. I think that was $599. Let me check. Yep, $599. So if I were you, I would definitely go ahead and jump on that. If you are looking for a small budget mirrorless camera, the Canon M50 is definitely a way to go. Also, my buddy Josh, or Sticks, did a whole playlist at the beginning of this month going over the M50. I'll make sure I have some of those videos linked up down below if you want more details on that camera. Continuing along with the Canon line, I'm going to recommend a camera that I've never thought of recommending before, but now I think it might actually be a silent little sleeper as far as content creator cameras go, and that is the Canon EOS RP. Now, I know what you're thinking. The Canon EOS RP, that camera was trash on day one. And you know what? You're probably right. I mean, honestly, it really wasn't that great of a camera when it was first announced. But since then, Canon has been doing a lot of listening and updating. First of all, they've given back being able to shoot at 24 frames per second in 1080p, which is awesome. You also can shoot in 4K at 24 frames per second. And it has now updated the eye autofocusing system on that camera as well, which really makes that a really good little beginner full frame mirrorless camera. To take it one step further, right now on Black Friday or Thanksgiving, or really, I mean, you could shop it right now. If you check the link down below, you'll find that this camera is actually running for just $999. So $1,000 for a full frame Canon mirrorless camera that's gonna give you a flip out screen, eye autofocus, 4K, and give you 1080p at 24 frames per second. Now, before all the Sony guys jump in the comments and start talking about how terrible that camera is, Sony, you actually have a couple pretty good deals going on right now too. And this is for anybody who's looking to upgrade their Sony cameras. Right now, the Sony A7 III is on sale for $17.98. So $200 off this camera. This is the camera that has been around for a little over a year now, and the price has not budged. I actually mentioned that as one of the really good things about this camera, is that the price really doesn't drop on this camera. But right now for Black Friday, this camera is on sale for $200 off. Again, links to that will be down below. This is a perfect time to jump on this camera if you've been thinking about upgrading, because I have seen this camera drop down to this price once before. It was very short-lived, and then it went right back up to full price. So this is not something where, you know, if you don't buy it now, maybe you can buy it later at the same price. I don't really see that being the case. So if you are thinking about getting the Sony A7 III, this is definitely the time to jump on it since it is $200 off. Now, before we jump into the #1 camera that I think you guys should be looking at for Black Friday, I want to give one little bit of an honorable mention, and that is the Fuji X-T3. Now, this camera right now is $200 off at $13.99. Let me make sure that's right. I'm sorry, at $12.99. So $300 off of this camera. And no, wait, if it's $12.99 makes it $1,300. It's only $1,500. So that's $200 off, right? Okay, yeah, so this camera is $200 off right now, and I would strongly recommend, if you have been considering going the Fuji route, the X-T3 is a phenomenal camera. I recommend it hands down. So if you have been thinking about it, go ahead and scoop it up at $200 off. But now let's jump into the #1 camera that I recommend that you pick up for Black Friday. And this is pretty much no matter what system you shoot on, because this is the best of the best, and that is the DJI Mavic Pro 2. Right now, the drone is going for $13.79, and that is a phenomenally low price, especially because originally this camera is $1,800. In fact, when I bought it, I think I paid $1,800 for it. And I would have to say that this is a phenomenal drone. If you were looking for something that you can travel with and that you can get amazing images with and the quality is top notch, this is definitely the way to go, especially because the price is so low. In fact, I even found on Amazon right now that there is a deal going on for about $1,400, actually $1,459 exact, for a bundle that's gonna give you extra batteries, extra propellers, a bag, chargers, everything you need to get this thing going. And again, you're spending less than $1,500. When it comes to drones, I'm really wary about people spending a lot of money on them because one, they're so fragile, and two, if you've never really done it before, it can cost a lot of money and you can lose it really quick. But at these prices, I would have to say that picking up a Mavic 2 Pro right now is definitely the way to go. So there you have it, guys. Those are the 5 items right now, or technically 6 items I think you should be looking at for Black Friday. As you guys know, there's going to be tons of online shopping going on. I'll have links to all the things that I talked about down below in the description. But definitely jump on some of these deals. I'd love to know what you guys are looking to pick up, whether that's a camera, a lens, accessories, if that's, you know, online, software, whatever the case may be. Let me know what you guys are excited about picking up for this Black Friday and how you plan on doing some shopping. I know that this is the time of the year for giving, but, you know, as filmmakers, we also kind of have to take advantage of these awesome sales for ourselves. So let me know what you guys are going to pick up down below. But thanks so much for checking out this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.